Okay, so last time, okay? So last time what we did was we saw some measures of central tendency, as it's called, mostly for determining what the center is. I guess depending on viewpoint, you know, one has the mean, which is basically just the average. One also has the mode. Excuse me, not the, I meant to say the median. You know, there was a big process for calculating that. I did email the complete set of notes. Okay, I did email it so that, from last time that is, so the process for the median you do have, and the mode, again, we did this last time, but I'm just doing this example here. For the mode, okay, remember that is the element that appears the most frequently in the data set. That's the element that appears the most frequently in the data set, okay? And you can use it. I mean, mostly we've been focusing on quantitative data, but you can use the mode if you want for qualitative data, not the mean and median though, unfortunately. You can't really use it there. You know, getting the average of a bunch of colors, let's say, you know, that's qualitative data. You know, that really wouldn't make sense. But the mode, however, you can use with qualitative data. So that's what happens here. And again, the mode is just the data element that occurs the most frequent, that occurs the most often. So it's the data value that has the highest frequency. So if you were to look at this table here, right? If you were to look at this table, the mode would be orange, the color orange. And why is that? Because it has the highest frequency, as you can see. That's what the mode would be. So again, that's just the data value that appears the most often. Now, here's an example as well. This is really another example. I think I might have even done this last time. But with the mode now, you can actually have more than one. You can have more than one mode. Namely, here, orange appears the most frequently, but so does the color white, as you can see. So there's two modes here, because there's two colors that appear the most frequently. So you could have more than one mode is what I'm saying. Notice here, all the data values appear the same number of times. Okay? They all appear the same number of times. Thus, there is no mode. So there is no mode here. Because they all appear the same number of times, so there is no data value that appears most often. Okay. Now, this was actually an example I was planning to have you guys try last time. However, we ran out of time. So because of that, I think it might be good if I do this with everyone. Okay. Basically, here we have this data presented in a frequency table, as you can see. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to get the mean, the median, and the mode from the table. Now, to get the median, really, one thing you have to do, if you remember, is you have to sort the data from smallest to largest. Okay? All right, now you only want to sort the exam scores, though. But, you know, the data values, that is. The data values here are the exam scores. So we are going to sort, okay? We are going to sort based on the exam scores. But with each data value, you have to keep its frequency, as you can see. So I guess you could think of it as sorting an entire row based on the exam scores. You can think of it that way also if you want. Okay. So doing so, we end up with this. I mean, theoretically, you could list the data by the frequency. In other words, you can list 25 12 times, 41 10 times, 38 15 times, but you know, I wouldn't want to do that. That'd be very annoying, very tedious. So, but after you sort it, this is what you get. But again, what I'm saying here is the frequency you keep with the exam score, as you can see. Okay. Same thing, right? When we have 15 was the smallest one, so we kept its frequency. Yeah, 25 we kept with 12, and so on. All right. Now, so we have the data sorted. To get the median, remember, you have to determine how many data values there are. Okay? So for instance, if you add up the frequency here, what are you going to get? You're going to end up with 100. If you add up the frequency, you get 100. And in the process of finding the median, we saw that if there are an even number of data values, as here, there's an even number, right? You divide by 2, and in this case, we get 50, and you look at the 50th and the 51st position. You have to find the data values there. So we have to look at those two values and get their average, their mean. Okay, so again, the number was even, we divided by 2, and what we do next, okay, is we have to find the data values in these positions. But again, we don't have to list all the data. We could, but we don't have to. Notice the first 10 data values, the first 10, right? They're equal to the exam scores, namely 15, okay? So those are the first 10 data values. In other words, values 1 through 10 are equal to 15. The next 12 data values all equal to 25. The next 12, so that means data values 11 up to, 11, 12, 13, up to including 22, right? We have to add 10 to 12 to determine the last data value, which one it is. Those are all 25. They're all equal to 25. And you keep going. So the next 15, so 23, 24, 25, and so on, right? They're all equal to 38. Okay? So what we get is data values 23 up to including 15, right? They're all equal to 38. Again, I'm adding here. That's how you get the last position for the data value. I'm just letting you know. The next 10 are equal to 41. So we have 38, 39 up to 47, all equal 41. And the next 10, which go from 48 to 57, they're equal to 43. So data values, so the 50th and the 51st data values, okay, those both equal 43. Okay, so their average then is, median is 43. So that's what the median is. Okay, I know it was a little annoying because we had to do all this stuff. Okay, but again, it is easier than listing the data values. I mean, theoretically, you could do that. If I were to do that, I probably would use Google Sheets or something, but I'm just showing you, you don't have to. So that's the median. The mode, well, that's the data value that appears the most frequently. In other words, it's the data value with the highest frequency. Well, we can see that the data value is 50, right? That has the highest frequency. That's the mode. For the mean, right, remember what we do. Each exam score, you multiply by the frequency, okay? You multiply by the frequency. For the mean, right, you can imagine as if the data were listed according to its frequency. So 15 would be listed 10 times, 25 is listed 12 times, 38 is listed 15 times. If you do that, you would have to add up all those numbers. That's the same as doing 15 times 10, 25 times 12, and so on. So we do all that sum, that big sum, and we divide by the number of data values, which is the sum of the frequencies, as you can see, which is equal to this. That's our mean, as you can see. That's our mean, median, and mode. Now, again, the exam is, I mean, this won't be on the second exam. You know, the exam is open book. So, you know, these kind of processes, you're not going to have to memorize. Are there any questions about this? I really hope this makes sense. You know, I really want everyone to learn this. I do have office hours today, don't forget. Again, if you have questions, don't be afraid to email me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.